Hello everybody, how is it going? So, we are back to some tournament gameplay. We have purple-green Doffy versus Whitebeard. Just to let you guys know, this is the OCG format, so Whitebeard does have multiple 9-drops as well as beams and Marcos, so just something to note. If anything, we can take away that this matchup may be a little bit easier for Doffy in our format. Potentially. I don't know. I think Whitebeard in our format is, I'd say, like a bit faster than the OCG format, so not exactly sure how much the matchup changes between here and our format, but yeah. But OPO4 officially being released in the TCG, which is really cool. Let me know how you guys are liking it so far. I have Doffy completely made. I'm not gonna lie, I've played in locals yesterday and I just played Law because I want to know how he's doing into all the new decks. Also, my locals is a lot of yellow, so Law thrives. So that's always an excuse to play Law. But I definitely want to play some Doffy. I think the deck is really fun. I think it can be almost a bit linear. I feel like some matchups are just decided by how much removal your opponent has. Like, Tesoro himself can just win games if he stays more than one turn. Like, that card is super crazy. Who thought drawing 2 wouldn't be strong? But yeah, there is the caveat of only being able to use him when you're at 10 Dawn. At least efficiently use him when you're at 10 Dawn. So, I think it's he's a bounce card. He also, gets removed by a lot of things, so definitely kind of a greedier card. But Doffy just starting with the Searcher Nami. Whitebeard just searching twice on their opening turn. And then the following turn, I don't think doing anything really, unless I'm just like insane. I know I was just kind of talking about the format and stuff. But yeah, honestly, Nami in this matchup feels kind of bad because your Dawn, like, per turn gets taxed super heavily because you need to go Dawn on Nami and tap a Dawn for her. So I don't know how many searches she'll get unless we're like resting the little searches Whitebeard has, or like Marcos. Like those attacks will feel fine with Nami, but I don't know how many times she's gonna be able to search unless we're just swinging 5 and not clearing anything, which if you really want to search I think is okay. But this turn we're not swinging with Nami, we're just gonna go 6 with lead, play the Tesoro. Tesoro is very strong in this matchup, him just being naturally a 6k is very good. And Whitebeard doesn't have a lot of like removal outside of like Ace and then a way to pop maybe like 5-drop Marco, and obviously you can't play both of those in the same turn. So like late game I'm saying maybe like Ace and then like 9-drop Newgate could get rid of it, but at that point we've probably already drawn 2, so he still kind of did his job. But Whitebeard going 6 with Atmos and then 7 with Leader. Doffy does have the Bagua, which is pretty strong, getting a Rampadon there. And then Whitebeard will Otama the Nami, and then Marco pop the Nami. Honestly, I don't even think Doffy is that upset about it. Just because, again, like, it's a lot of Dawn to use every turn just to attack with the character. So Doffy probably isn't feeling too bad about that. He'll pick up a Punk Gibson. He ramped 1 and I believe he went first, so now he's on even, right? He should be at 8 Dawn right now. It's kind of hard to count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, I see at 9. He might have gone second. That's my fault. 4. It's kind of hard to tell. But, just checking out his hand real quick. Does have a 10-drop, which I don't know how important 10-drop is in this matchup. I feel like 10-drop is almost important in every matchup. I don't know. That card is just very, very strong. And it kind of sucks that right now we don't really have an efficient way of searching 10-drop. There is, like, the counter spell that Doffy can play, but I just don't think that is worth playing just for 10-drop and, like, Sugar, because those are really the only Dunk Yode pirate targets you play. But he's going to go 6 at either Atmos or Life, but it gets 1k'd either way. Doffy will play down the Sugar, and then swing, looks like, just 5 into the Izo. Izo will go down. Tapping another 5. Probably just gonna play the second Tesoro. Honestly, if the first one has survived so far, why not play a second one just as almost a failsafe? Because we really want this card late game in this matchup. And Doffy's gonna pass with 4 Dawn active. I think he does have 2 events if he wants to use both of them this turn. If the Whitebeard kind of messes up his swings, he will be able to rest the Atmos, which is pretty good. But this should be... yeah, this should be Whitebeard's 9 Dawn turn, and he does have a 9-drop, so... pretty sure this turn he's just always playing 9-drop. It can get rested by the sugar, so maybe he doesn't want to do that, but... he does have, 2 9-drops, so... I'd say it's probably worth just playing 9-drop. And he does. And sugar will activate. Let's see what he decides to tap. We do know he has a 10-drop, so yeah, he does go for the Whitebeard, which makes complete sense. And look at that Otama value, swinging 0 into 0. That's always a funny interaction, but yeah, it does work. And Doffy thinking about countering out of that, that's kind of funny. Although it's like, nah, it's definitely not the right call. Maybe. It might, but then if like Whitebeard goes 8 into his Tesoro, it's going to be a bit harder to defend, but not really because he has events. Yeah, this could actually be fine for Doffy if he wanted to counter. Nah, I don't think so, because then like if you counter out of that and then Whitebeard swings 8, you really want to punk Gibson to tap the Atmos here. So yeah, we're just trying to get max value off 10-drop Doffy. And this would be a perfect punk Gibson because Whitebeard is at 8k, and if he goes 8k and either Life or Tesoro, they're both going to get guarded by the punk Gibson, and we'll get to tap the Atmos, and then we'll be able to freeze 3 characters with the 10-drop, which is the most value we could ask for. Okay, so yeah, he does punk Gibson, tap the Atmos, and it's looking like a very telegraphed 10-drop this turn into draw 2 with Tesoro. Feels great. Doffy picking up Festa, that's fine. What's nice about Festa is that, yeah, he is a searcher, but he's also a 2k counter, so if you're not in need of any of like your Luffy's or your Utas, he's just a 2k counter, just hold him in hand. But yeah, 100% we're slamming those Dawn, playing 10-drop, freezing the 3 he can freeze, and he'll probably take a swing at the Atmos, I'd imagine. And then draw 2. Yep, putting back 2 Dawn. Let's see what he finds. Finds a Chopper and a Nami. The Chopper's good. The Nami is, again, I feel like she's not that great in this matchup, but it's alright. And Whitebeard does just let the Atmos go, which is almost fair because that body is going to stay rested, and if he wants to play another 9-drop, he really doesn't want to give Doffy a target to just swing 6 at. He wants him to swing at lead for 8 or 9-drop for 10. So I feel like that's completely fair, letting the Atmos go. And if he does play a second 9-drop here, he's probably not gonna tap his 5-drop Marco, but he actually likes to play Ace, reduces both Tesoros by 3, it looks like, and is probably just gonna try to at least out one of them. Go 7 at, I believe, the rested Tesoro. Doffy can defend this just because he has Spider's Web, and then like force like Whitebeard to have like a Vista or something, which I doubt they're playing because I don't think Vista's very good this format. I don't know, he's like okay, it just depends how much you respect Zoro, but yeah, it looks like Doffy is definitely considering using the Spider's Web to save the Tesoro. I like it, honestly. I like it. Whitebeard took a turn off not playing 9-drop to try to out one of these Tesoros, which I don't even know is worth it, honestly. Like, especially if Doffy has 2, like, you need to out both of them. So even if you added that one this turn, you still have to deal with the other one next turn. But, yep, Doffy does counter and restand the now 3k Tesoro. And yeah, he's living this turn. We can see Whitebeard's hand. He doesn't have a Vista or like a Seaquake. I doubt he'd be running either of them. So yeah, maybe he could have committed a bit more on swinging with the Ace, but it'd be like that. Whitebeard's gonna go 7 at Life. Doffy could honestly take this. I don't think it's the worst take. We don't want to drop our 2Ks just yet. Unless I'm a liar. To be fair, he will be drawing another 2 cards next turn with the Tesoro. Okay, so he does counter out of that. Fair enough, fair enough. Always forget that those 2 cards we just kind of dropped are almost free, because we'll draw a card here and then we'll draw 2 after Tesoro. So this turn, it's looking like he's definitely going to try to play a Festa and try to find like a Luffy or an Uta or just anything that'll... just some defense, because right now we just have 3 attackers on board, and we're staring down a 10k body, a 7k body, and a leader, and another 6k body. So it could get a little bit sketch, so Uta would definitely be great here. Or, you know, Luffy into Uta, depending what he can find. He will be able to, like, play Festa, search, and then, like, maybe just put a Dawn on leader to swing, and then -2 Dawn with Tesoro, and then he'll still have 8 Dawn remaining to either, like, if he finds a Luffy off that, or, you know, finds Utas, he'll be able to play him, which is, sounds good, sounds good. So he's gonna tap 1, play Tesoro, not Tesoro, I'm sorry, Festa, looking at top 5. Sees an Uta, that's really just the best option, right? There's other options like 2k counter or Brook or another Tesoro, and I don't think he needs another Tesoro, and Brook would just play Nami, and again, Nami's kind of mid in this matchup, so Uta seems like the obvious choice there, and he's going to put 1 Dawn on leader, and attack for 6, I assume into life. Could also be at Marco. I feel like either one would get a card out of Whitebeard's hand. And then Doffy's going to swing 6 with Tesoro, -2 Dawn, draw 2 cards. Let's see what he finds. He's definitely hoping for a Luffy. And it looks like he drew 2 Luffy, so he got his wish, Whitebeard definitely going to counter out of this, because we know that he does have another 9-drop. Or at least he should. I don't know, this turn's always a little bit awkward, at least for me when I'm playing into Whitebeard. Like, now that they only have 1 9-drop, I'll usually just, like, not swing at their life and try to clear their board, because they'll be drawing that next turn anyway. But in their format, he still has the debate of, should I keep swinging life and try to put him on 0 if he wants to play another 9-drop, or should I just poke at him and then, like, try to kill a character here? And I'm pretty sure he's going to try to maybe just swing 6s at lead, and then swing Doffy at maybe like the ace, because there's no point in swinging Doffy at the Marco. And unless he put a lot of Dawn, he's not outing the Newgate. And he definitely wants to play the 7-drop Luffy this turn, so I think that just makes the most sense right now. Goes 6 again with the other Tesoro, not using the effect to draw. Yeah, you still want to have access to a 10-drop next turn if you want to play 10-drop. So, not limiting his options at all. Whitebeard looking like he will counter again. Yep, drops the Jozu for a 2k counter. And Doffy should have 1 extra Dawn. Yeah, if he wants to swing a good number at ace, and he does. Puts 1 Dawn on Doffy, attacks 11 into ace. And ace is dead. Tap 7, play Luffy into the Uta that he searched earlier in the turn. And he is looking really solid, really solid. Gonna restand 2 Dawn, and pass it back. Still has 2 life, has 2 blockers. No way he's dying this turn. Whitebeard is most likely gonna play another 9-drop this turn because he defended, you know, his last life, so there's no reason to defend your last life and then just not play 9-drop, you know? So Whitebeard going 6 at probably a Tesoro. I don't even know if you fight for board at this point. He might just be going life. That's definitely a possibility. Doffy dropping the 2k counter, so whatever he swung at did get defended. Didn't really matter what. And swinging the Whitebeard into into life. Okay, Doffy will take that hit, and he sees a Bagua. No point in using the trigger. He's just gonna get his 2 Dawn back next turn. And yeah, Whitebeard will play the 9-drop and swing 8 at probably life. If at this point we're like committed to just swinging life. Fighting for board isn't gonna work. Looking like Doffy will block with the Luffy and then just drop a 2k counter in the Paradise Waterfall. Interesting he's playing Paradise Waterfall. I don't think many Doffy lists actually play it, just because we have Spider's Web. And I feel like it's rare when you leave like one extra Dawn up. It's usually like you're tapping out and then you have the 2 Dawn for your two Dawn event. And Doffy picking up a Sugar, which could be important if the new gate sees like a 4-drop Marco. Right now it's not really doing much because Sugar cannot rest a 9-drop, so yeah, it might be important, it might not be, really just depends what Whitebeard sees. Also, it feels kind of bad sacking off any of your board, as the Doffy player right now. It's probably just gonna maybe swing a bunch into the Marco. Okay, it goes 10 at life, maybe just wants to see if he'll take the hit. He probably won't, just because of the all-in is, I guess, a little bit scary, but if he swung with 10 drop first, he might. He just has to math it out and see if he can live. And we see he has a Beam and a 2k in hand right now. That's really it. So he wouldn't be able to survive the all-in if Doffy just put 10 Dawn on Tesoro right now. But if he grabs any counter off life, which he does, yeah, he finds an Ezo. So he can survive the 10 Dawn on Tesoro. Not on Luffy, right? Because he'd have +4, +2, +1. So he has 7,000 worth of counter, and that's 15,000. Oh wait, no, he couldn't even survive the Tesoro all-in, right? Because he's at 8 right now, +4 with Radical Beam, he'd be at 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, so Doffy actually just puts 10 Dawn on Tesoro and swings. He does win, but it is a very scary play to do, because Whitebeard still does have 6 cards in hand, 1 Dawn up, and he's 8k right now. So it's not unlikely that he doesn't have the counter, or has the counter, sorry, to get out of it. But as we can see, the Whitebeard's hand, we know he doesn't have enough. But Doffy's gonna swing 8 at the Whitebeard's life. It'll be met with a 1k. Then he's gonna swing 6 at 5-drop Marco, I would imagine, drawing 2 cards. He sees another 10-drop and a 2k counter, so that's pretty good. Whitebeard will save the Marco. I'm not exactly sure what Doffy's plan is this turn. Maybe just play his other 7-drop Luffy and sack off one of the Tesoros. They've kind of gotten all the value they've needed to get. Tapping, looks like 7. Yeah, so he's going to play the Luffy, and he does sack off the Tesoro. And I'm curious if he's going to use this Tesoro's effect. It looks like he is, yeah. So he draw 4 cards this turn. My goodness. Sees another 10-drop and another 2k. He just drew the same 2 cards twice. What's up with that? But, Whitebeard probably still just gonna discard one of his events to keep the Marco around, just because he still has the Radical Beam. So he also kind of needs to all-in, I think, this turn, because he is very low on cards, the Whitebeard player. So I don't think he really has a choice. And Doffy passing it back, restanding his 2 Dawn. Whitebeard picking up a Jozu. I don't think the Jozu rush is really going to come into play here. Maybe the Ace, though. The Ace could, because Ace plus one of the 9-drops could out either the Uta or one of the Tesoros. Probably go for Uta, because you're forced to go for a game. So, yeah, he's just going to have to figure out what his best play is here to attempt to go for game. So Whitebeard just deciding to swing 6 at, I assume, life. Maybe just trying to bait out one of the blockers, like a Luffy free block. I doubt Doffy is going to fall for that. Probably just going to drop one of his 2Ks that he picked up last turn. Yeah. So, yep. 2Ks out. And I do think Whitebeard will play Ace this turn. I feel like it's the best route he can take. Because if not, it's just 3 blockers against 3 attacks. And then, we know how that goes. So, Whitebeard swinging now 10 at life. I imagine Doffy can counter out of this, right? He has Thunder Bagua plus another 2k. So he can get out of this if he wants. I think he will, just because of defend the hits you can. And this is going to be one of the lower hits, most likely. and he still have 3 blockers. Wouldn't have much counter in hand, but it's going to be hard to out 2 7k blockers. Like the Usa, yeah, she might go down, but he has 2 7k blockers. So yeah, Doffy's going to tap 2, use the Bagua, ramp 1, and then drop a 2k. Yep. Alright, so do we see the ace coming out of Whitebeard? I think he has to. I don't think he has a choice. But then again, even if we look at it, he'll play ace, -3 to the Uta and something else, put 2 on Newgate, and pop the Uta. Doffy will still have 2 blockers and 1 life, so I just don't think it ever works here. So yeah, does that, reduces the Uta plus something else, pops the Uta, swings 12 at life. Like Doffy can just take this, and then he has 2 blockers for the next 2 attacks. So this should definitely be Doffy's game. Very well played to him. This Tesoro definitely put in the pain. So yeah, ace swinging 7. I think he reduced the Luffy, so I'll probably just use the reduced Luffy here to just block it. Maybe just asking how many Dawn active or how many cards in hand, I don't know. Yeah, I think he's just gonna block this and then maybe block the last hit from leader with the other Luffy and counter if he has to. So yeah, Whitebeard going 1 Dawn on leader, attacking for 7. And Doffy will block with Luffy and drop one of his 1Ks. And this should definitely be Doffy's game. Just gonna swing probably all Dawn on 10 drop. And 3 cards is definitely not getting him out of it, especially with no Dawn active. Okay, actually puts 8 Dawn, my bad. 8 Dawn on 10 drop, swings 18, and yeah, that is the game. Well, thank you guys for watching.